Hi guys, welcome back to Our Wyoming Life. My name is Mike, and it's the first video of the month of March, which you know means that we're going to go around, take a look on the ranch and see what has to be done. Also, we're going to be taking a look at some of the animals and talking about what they have coming up for the month. Also, we've got a couple projects that we're going to try to complete, and those projects have to do with how we feed. We're going to be taking a look at the one ring to rule them all, and it's right here on the ranch. Stick around. I love the first videos of the month. It's not the most popular video in the world, doesn't get the most amount of views, but it's a fun video for me because we get a chance to go around, take a look at some of the animals on the ranch. Also talk about what changes on the ranch and what needs to be done. This is our peacock, by the way. You're going to see him quite a bit. He has been getting more and more friendly. He likes to hang out with us. He likes to be part of the action. So he's probably going to be popping in quite a bit as we move into spring. March is, I don't know, coming in like a lion, I guess. We've got a lot of snow on the ground, which the emus don't seem to mind. But normally this time of year, well, I can tell you, in a normal year, we average about 60 inches of snow. So far this year, we've actually hit 75 inches, and there's a lot more to come. This is Ethel. She's our miniature donkey. She's pregnant. We know she's pregnant. We've seen things move in there, but we're still waiting for some sort of action, aren't we? She's not very thrilled about it, but we did the math a couple months ago, and we kind of figured that she came here in March of last year, so even if she got pregnant the day before she got here, that would actually put her due in, well, by May. So there is a chance that during the 30 and 30, which begins this month, we may have a baby donkey. Thanks to all that snow, it is super bright out here. As we head over to the gator, we are going to go take a look at the goats, the chickens, the geese, the ducks, and everything else that we got going on over there. But first, we're going to stop by some brand new additions to the ranch. These little chickens have the honor of being the first chicks that were born right here on the ranch. Normally when we get new chickens, whether they're laying chickens or meat chickens, which are two different types of chickens, by the way, we order them through the Cackle Hatchery or McMurray Farms or something like that. This year we decided, and if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, you've seen quite a few videos about the incubator, which is in our house. And these guys, this is our first batch of chickens to come out of that incubator. And there they are. Incredibly hard to count how many chickens we have in there. Now, there is one problem with all of these chickens is we don't know who are male and who are female. One of the problems that we had, well, that we didn't know we were doing, we didn't know how to sex chickens. You really have to kind of do it within the first few days after they were hatched, and we didn't get a chance to get it done. So roosters that are in here are probably going to go on to become meat chickens or stew pot chickens or something like that. The females will stay in the laying hen flock, I guess you could say. So these guys, we're really super happy to have them here. I don't know how many there are. I would say 40 or so is what we ended up hatching out of that group. I think we incubated about 90 eggs. So if we got half of those, we're doing pretty good. Also, we have a wide variety of chickens, different breeds. So a lot of these guys, mutts probably, but I'm interested to see what they look like as they get older and some of the interesting colorings and all that kind of good stuff that we get. All right, let's get going. Barn cats can be a huge problem on the ranch. They are very useful. I mean, I don't see rodents at all anywhere on the ranch ever, which means that they're doing their job. However, March, I think, is going to be the big month for the great cat roundup, and we have to start trapping cats and getting them fixed before we end up with, you know, hundreds of baby cats running around, which we'll get anyway, but because we're never going to catch everybody, but we're definitely going to try. Here we are over the goat pen, where we've got Jack and Waffle and Cruella and Fancy over here. Our newest addition, that's Pepper right over there, who you met. He was born back in January, I do believe. And now getting to be a big old boy. Look at him trying to eat hay there. They grow up so fast. All right, so one problem that I do have is with Fancy here. I'm really kind of doubting that Pip, who was our boy goat last summer and has since actually went to Minnesota to do his work there, I don't think Fancy got pregnant. I think she's just chubby, but she's not doing anything. So this month would be her last month to have a kid if she's going to have one. I'm kind of wondering if that's going to happen. Chickens are out and around doing chicken stuff. Snow actually does a number on a lot of the equipment and some of the structures around the ranch. You remember I built this chicken feed, 1-ton chicken feeder, holds a ton of chicken feed. However, snow buildup and some other things have actually caused some issues that we're going to have to repair once we get a little bit of a thaw. March actually does come in like a lion, and it sometimes goes out like a lamb. We're going to see how it works, but for now, we just got to wait for some stuff to thaw before we can start any major repairs. Inside the chicken run here, our turkeys are getting a lot older, a lot bigger, and a lot more turkey-like. Pretty soon, these guys will actually have their run of the ranch. I think Erin's plan is to let them out of the run. But yeah, very interesting how much they've grown even over the last month, and how ugly they are. I guess they do have that, I don't know. They're pretty in a way, but man, they're also really, really ugly. Speaking of ugly, precious! We actually have one project that we do have to get done today. A couple projects, but I'll clue you in on the second one here in just a couple minutes. The first one that we've got to get done is we're actually putting a ring feeder out for the bulls and the horses. They're living together in a pasture where we used to have a whole bunch of steers in there as well. We actually sorted those steers off to a separate pasture so that we can feed them a little bit better and help them grow before they hit the feed lot. That leaves the horses and the bulls out by themselves. Now, one of the problems that we run into, and we ran into during the last storm, was that if you go out and put out a bale of food for those horses, for that bulls, it's going to get snowed on, it's going to blow around. It's kind of a little bit of a waste, but luckily we've got something to combat that. So this is a ring feeder. This is a pretty old, we don't have any really new ring feeders around the ranch. These are pretty old. A lot of these were purchased, most of them were purchased probably back in, I don't know, probably about 2010 or so. They ran about $800 back then. I don't know what they cost nowadays, but they do get kind of beat up. Obviously, you can see they're kind of bent. They've got some holes in them. This is probably from trying to move it and hitting it with one of the spears there. So our goal is to pick this up today and get it moved over to the horses and the bulls. I've got a bale over there, so it should be relatively easy. All we have to do is lift it up and set it over the bale. And then I'll tell you kind of some of the benefits of using a ring feeder as opposed to just putting out a bale, rolling it out, or feeding it with the hustler feeder. I'm heading across the road here to drop this thing off, and I just noticed a problem that we have to fix right now. And that has to do with, well, for the first time here in quite a while, we have escapees that are out on the ranch. So we've got a few of our, I don't know how they got out, but we've got a few of our backgrounders here that are where they're not supposed to be. No idea how this happened, but they're definitely not supposed to be on that side of the fence. So they are actually over here helping the A-team eat some of their grain. Looks like there's only 2 out. How they got out, I have no idea. First things first is we've got to get them put back. I don't think it's going to be that tough. We've got these panels right here. I think I can crack open one of these panels and just kind of push them back over this way, back down with their brethren over here. Oh, geez Louise, frozen. Frozen. Okay, that one may not work. Move up to the next one here. Let's see if we can't do something in this corner. There we go. Okay, we got a little gate open there, or at least a hole in the panels. Now we are just going to go down, see if we can't move these guys back down that way and get them back in with the C team and the scrubs where they're supposed to be. And then we got to try to figure out how they escaped. Come on, you two. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Nope. Follow your friend. Come on. Good job, guys. You guys want to tell me how you escaped? No? Okie doke. That's one small problem solved. Although we do need to try to figure out how they got out. Luckily we have snow, so we can look for footprints, because honestly, they're not master criminals. They're gonna leave evidence behind, but I do feel a little like Sherlock Holmes. Aha! And there's our culprit. Enough snow over here, and it's not too difficult for someone to just walk over the fence, drifting. It's a beautiful thing. All right, what we're gonna do, we are gonna go get this ring feeder put out for the for the horses and the bulls. I'll tell you about the ring feeder. Then we're gonna come back with the tractor and move some of that snow out of there. Our best bet is actually to go on the inside, remove the snow from the inside so that they can't use it to climb over the fence. I think that's probably our best bet, but let's get this done. Hopefully naughty number 4 doesn't come back around. right, going back a little ways, I think I mentioned that I did come out and give these guys a round bale this morning. The main reason I did that was I wanted to be able to demonstrate to you guys the difference between having a ring feeder on and not having one on the round bale. For the cows across the road that we're gonna have to go check here in a little bit, we do have feed out for them, and that was spooled out, rolled out pretty simply. But one of the problems that we have when we put out feed for an animal is the fact that if they're not gonna eat it, they might use it for bedding. Now I get it, she'd much rather lay there on some nice hay, not have to lay in the snow. Totally awesome. Unfortunately, hay is money, and right now we can't have anybody, even a mule like Scotchy here, taking advantage of our hospitality. So putting a ring feeder over this bale should make all the difference. And you're gonna say, Mike, cows do the same darn thing. They lay down on their food. Well, yeah, but with cows, we actually only put out the same amount of food that they're gonna eat in one day. With the horses and the bulls over here, there's only a few animals. They can't eat a bale an entire day. I don't feel like coming out and weighing it out and trying to figure out exactly how much they eat every day. So using a ring feeder for anything less than about 10 animals is optimal for the ranch. She's gonna have to get up and move, because we are gonna place this bale feeder right over this bale. Forcing them to reach inside of these things, which we actually call tombstones, because that's kind of what they look like. Forcing them to reach up inside to grab their bale keeps all of this waste from coming out. They might eat that, they might not, but we're better off to just say, you know what, keep it inside the ring feeder and keep it safe. So this is the one ring that rules all of these. As much as they may not like it. Next, an unscheduled stop for us as we head up to the scrubs pasture, our backgrounding calves and steers. We are gonna have to move some snow to keep them from walking across that fence. And I guess there's not much to it, really. We just have to move the snow. But one thing that I've seen people get kind of worked up about is trying to remove the snow as close to the fence as possible, and then you kind of end up destroying the fence. I'm not worried. Well, I'll show you when we get down here. I'm not worried about leaving a couple feet alongside the fence. I know these aren't billy goats. They're not going to get too crazy. And like I said, I don't think they're master criminals, although number 4, who, the white-faced one, he's escaped a few times. I'm beginning to think he might be smarter than your average buckethead. But we just need to move enough snow to make a big enough trench that they can't walk across the fence. And there we go. I think we made a big enough of a trench that unless they've got a zip line or a rope or something, they're not going to get across there. So we're gonna sneak out of here. We're gonna go across the road. We're gonna check on our breeding herd, which also has our heifers in it that we're gonna have to do something with pretty dang quick. That's one thing I've never heard anybody say that they like about ranching, and that's opening and closing gates. But just part of the deal, I guess. We're heading down here into the triangle pasture where our breeding herd is staying right now. It's called the triangle pasture because it's shaped just like a triangle. Which, oddly enough, is a question that I've gotten before. Why is the triangle pasture called the triangle pasture? Well, now you know. The breeding herd is anywhere from 2 years old to 10-year-old cows. Out here, we've got older cows that have had lots of calves that know exactly what they're going to be doing and never give us any bit of problem. Also, we have heifers out here. Heifers are brand new moms. This is their first time being pregnant. And yeah, they're gonna give us some grief. Like 47, 37, 38. These guys, brand new moms, when they have their calves, they're gonna have no clue what to do or how to do it. Unfortunately, they are due this month. The month of March begins calving season for heifers. And the reason we calve our heifers before we calve our older cows, like number 86 here, is because we want to make sure that we can give them our full attention. If we were calving heifers along with our older cows, such as number 14, we wouldn't be able to give our full attention to the heifers because we'd be chasing after cows as well. So heifers will have their calves first. Also, heifers tend to take a little bit longer to come back into cycle again, so that they're able to be bred. So we give them a little bit longer to cycle again when the bull comes back out in July. So, hey, number 8. That's what's going on with the cows and the heifers. We are gonna sort the heifers off this month and get them into a dedicated calving facility. That's gonna have to happen here within the next couple weeks. Also, you see out here where they've got their hay laid down. Unlike the ring feeder across the road, this hay I actually spooled out. I just rolled out a bale because I didn't have the Hustler feeder hooked up this morning. But you can see that they are walking on it, they're pooping on it and everything else, but they will clean this up substantially. You'll be surprised when you do take a look out here at areas where we fed before and how well they do clean it up. So because we just give them enough to eat for the day, we don't worry about it too much. Also, the ground is frozen, so we don't have to worry about mud or anything like that. Everything that they're able to eat off of this ground, they're gonna eat. Now they are finishing up their breakfast. They are also heading in to get water. That's where we saw a bunch of them heading earlier. We are gonna head back across the road where we take a look at the A team and the B team. I'll meet you there. And here we are, right over here with the A team, which is behind me here, the B team hiding down there in that shed. But it is a big day for the A team, as it's time for them to head off to freezer camp. Get in there. right, there we go. So with the A-team now on the trailer, we're gonna head over to Sturgis, South Dakota today, drop these guys off. They'll return back to the ranch in the form of steaks, roasts, hamburger, and other goodies that'll be great on your plate as you head to our website, ourwyominglife.com, and order. In fact, you might even see ear tags on the labels. All right, so here is, well, this is the new A-team. This is the B-team that's now moving up to be the A-team, showing you their best side. These guys, their rations will get bumped up, and we'll expect a little bit more out of them over the next 2 months. Right back here, you can see where we dug up our area. That was kind of an unplanned adventure today. But back here, the C-team, we will select a new B-team out of that group. And I've already got my eye on a couple. All right, that's it for me today, guys. I gotta hit the road. I'm heading over to Sturgis, South Dakota, drop these guys off at Sturgis Meats. Then I gotta stop by Dakota Mills, grab some feed and all that good stuff, bring it back, get it to the ranch. And then I think I'll get a chance to hang out with the wife and the kiddos and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you enjoy the rest of yours. Thank you for hanging out with me once again as we head in to the month of March. Amazingly enough, calving will be happening this month. The 30 and 30 kicks off this month. That's 30 videos in 30 days, and it's gonna be a blast. So thanks for sticking around, guys. Make sure you subscribe, follow along, explore the ranch life, and escape the ordinary right here on Our Wyoming Life.